Wow, it's pretty familiar walking around this surgery room. I don't know if you guys have ever been in one of these spots before, but I sure have. Brings back a lot of memories. I'll sit down here and ask you questions. So have you had surgery before? I just finished my 23rd. Crazy, eh? You see the rooms are cold and boy, your mind goes all crazy and will I wake up? Will I be able to see my loved ones and friends again? It's sort of stressful. It really is. So guys, this is a real tough topic for me to talk about. I had a heart attack and it almost killed me. Seriously, I had a heart attack. This is not a joke, and it sort of scared the shit out of me. Sorry, Mom and Dad, for my word choice, but you know your son, sometimes he likes to say those special words that get people to pay attention. Had a heart attack and I didn't even know that I had one, my friends. Maybe that's what they mean by no sense, no feeling. It's hard to say. And now I got to keep this nitroglycerin stuff with me in case I have another one. I think they call the disease dumbassness. Is that even a word? Do some of you guys have the symptoms of dumbassness disease? You know, my last 10 years have been, I guess you could say stressful for sure, but I really did think that I handled it pretty good. I asked myself, did my enthusiasm exceed my intelligence? Well, I have to say, I guess in this situation, yes. And I read something one time that really brought what stress can do in your life in perspective to me. And give me a minute, I'll share it with you and fill you in a little bit. But I'm hoping that maybe some of you might have to make some life changes in your own life. If you're over 50 and you have a family history of heart disease, please, my friends, listen to me. I don't want you to end up making a message like this one right here to your loved ones, or even worse, have your story told by your family members or your other loved ones who have to do it because you left and they have to do it. Please watch this video to the end where I'll post a link to another video I did called God and Heartbreak. You know, what happens when heartbreak happens? Hello, God, are you there? You know, heartbreak just seems to happen a lot these days. You know, why does God seem to take, the angels of this earth so early? So I hope you'll watch that video. I really believe it might give you some results and it might help you if you've lost some loved ones or maybe you're struggling with some of the why questions of life. Hello, hit the mark today, family. You know what to do right down there. Those hit subscribe and like buttons, will you click on those for me? It really is the best way to help our YouTube channel grow. Remember, positively impacting people every day by sharing the message of hope is my goal. And I thank you in advance for joining me on this journey. Okay, let's keep going with this heart attack message. This is a tough one. So here's the information that I read that I mentioned earlier. It says in the book Real Age, Dr. Michael Roisen points out that for every year that you live in high stress, you shorten your expectancy of life by 3 years. And according to his research, if you don't have an outlet for your true passion, I hope you know what that is, it could cost you another 6 years. And then if there's someone draining your energy due to like conflict and constant turmoil, you could lose another 8 years. In fact, he says if you add up the number of years that might be lost because of stress and living in this fictional self, it could be 32 years. 32 years, are you kidding me? Wow, that could be a lot of lost years, and with my current age, I guess that could mean like my heart is somewhere in the 80s. My grandfather died in his 80s, and it was heart failure that took his life. My dad has had a heart attack and has heart disease. You know, pay attention, Mark. So are you stressed? Maybe you're ignoring the stress thinking that you're all that. Is this you? Come on, Mark, this won't happen to me. There's no way. Well, my friends, I want to continue this story. Do you notice where I'm sitting here today? You know, this is where Mark Height's story could have ended, in the operating room. That was the last place I could have been before I passed away from a heart attack. Right in one of these places. I seriously think saying passed away to me sounds peaceful. It sounds good to, you know, seniors that have lived a nice long life. But in my case, I should be dead. Dead. You know? Meaning that I would never see any of you guys again on this side of heaven. Please, my friends, pay attention to this. You see, I didn't have any symptoms. You know, maybe a little slightly elevated heart rate, which, you know, I thought was just a result of my last neck surgery. And I was able to take some medication that lowered that heart rate just to keep me going. You know, things went by fast, and I guess about a year later, I decided to go see a doctor who took me to a cardiologist, and he decided that I needed a CT scan and a stress test. And bam! I had a heart attack. After I got the news and was, you know, showing the pictures to confirm this, I was pissed. You know, I asked the cardiologist about, you know, hey, can I play hockey again? He said, well, Mark, you know, you shouldn't because it could cause some issues. Issues, I guess, that I could end up having my own dirt blanket. This no hockey news is something that my Canadian brain is just telling me to ignore. You have to understand, I have to touch the puck to breathe. Hockey is life. I know you hockey people understand what I'm saying. And I really, really struggled with that news. 50 years on the ice. Credible memories. Really? No hockey? Okay, Doc, well, hey, what about skiing? Can I ski? I've been blessed these last 25 years to live in this beautiful place called Lake Tahoe. And, you know, I have to do that again. I can't stop skiing. This is bad news. No hockey, no skiing, to me seems worse than the heart attack. Man, this just might be the toughest part of this fight for me moving forward. All right, Doc, well, how bad is it? I need to know. I'm a competitor. What can I can't do? I can't live my life not doing what God created me to do. I need an answer ASAP. Well, Mark, calm down. Really, the only way to find out is to do what's called a coronary angiogram surgery. You know, this is just a dye test that's used to detect heart problems. It's just a long, flexible tube called a catheter. We insert it in your wrist or your groin, and we guide it up to your heart. And then once we have it in position, we inject a dye and we take some x-rays. It just lets us see what's going on. Okay, well, we're going to go do this angiogram and go take a look at your heart to see how bad it is. And if it's bad as a result of the heart attack, you know, if need be, we're going to put a stent in to help that blood flow, Mark. All right, Doc, go for it. I just want you to remember that I'm Mark Height, and my heart's going to show you that it's awesome, and there's going to be no problems moving forward so I can go back to playing hockey and skiing. Sort of sound like a legend in my own mind. Well, you see, my friends, I've been very active my whole life. I've been able to experience some incredible things. You know, kayaking on the oceans, again, skiing and hiking from the tops of the mountains. Again, I told you I spent years playing, you know, the greatest game in the world, hockey. How could something like this happen to me? I'm Mark Height. All right, Doc, book the surgery. Let's get her done. Surgery, here I come. So he says to me, hey, Mr. Height, I'm like, hey, Doc, what's up? What do you see? Probably looks great, eh? Well, son, you're very fortunate today to be on my operating table right now. Mr. Height, you should be dead. That's what he said to me. I should be dead. Them are fighting words to me. I was ready to jump up and drop my gloves right there with him and get after it. There is no way that this could happen to me. Well, Mr. Height, the left anterior descending artery is 99.9% blocked. I'm really surprised that you're even here right now. This is what they call the widowmaker, which is a massive heart attack. And that occurs when the left anterior descending artery, or what they call the LAD, is totally or almost completely blocked. That critical blockage in the artery stops, and there's usually a blood clot, and that stops the blood flow to the left side of your heart, causing your heart to stop beating in most times. They call this heart attack the widowmaker because you don't recover. I'm like, what? There's no way. You know, there's not really any symptoms that I've had, Doc. How could something like this happen? If this blood flow stopped, Mark, and it's really close right now, I'd have to care flight you to Las Vegas. And I really don't think you'd even make it. And care flight is only about a 20-minute flight. We got to put a stent in right away. So I guess, you know, I've got some history in my family of heart disease that caused this issue, and I'm sure the daily challenges of life also probably added to it a little bit. 3 kids, a job, no job, money, bill troubles, you know, are just a few of the daily life challenges that sort of keeps the stress level growing. I know you're dealing with the same thing. I have a wife also who suffers from severe secondary progressive multiple sclerosis. Are you paying attention to these stressful things, my friends? I know there's some of them going on in your own life. Could they be contributing to some of your health issues that you know of or maybe don't know about? You need to pay attention. Please, my friends, I'm begging you. This is not a joke. Do you want to take a chance ending up here and having heart surgery? So what does all this have to do with Mark Height having a heart attack? Got pretty animated and it fired me up thinking about it. Well, guys, it's just a request for you or maybe someone in your family that you know to find ways to go see your doctor. And if need be, get referred to a cardiologist. Especially if you're over 50 years old and have a family history of heart disease like I do. I've lost 5 friends from this same heart attack over the last 2 years. One of my friends, he died. He was a triathlete. The other one was a avid skier. The widowmaker is a silent killer. Please don't forget that. So do you need to remove or relieve some stress in your life? Remember earlier, the years lost because of stress. I shared that information. And I'll leave that in the description box for you to reread. And I really do hope that it might cause you to make some changes, my friends. You know, see, for me, I was too busy to even notice I had troubles, and it almost cost me my life. Remember what I said at the start of this video? I had a heart attack that almost killed me. You know, dead, dirt blanket, kick the bucket. You know, whatever you want to call it, I can't laugh at these statements anymore because I personally almost experienced them. And many of you are coming into that stage of your life where, you know, a medical checkup needs to be done at least once a year. I did a little research and it says, according to the American Heart Association, you know, the following screening tests for coronary artery disease should begin at 20. Except for maybe blood glucose screening, which should begin at 45. Hello? Hello? Are you listening? Take care of yourself and do those things that your medical professional is suggesting. Dirt blankets are not a gift that any of us want. Remember I mentioned earlier, my friends, about a video I did called God and Heartbreak. You know, where's God when heartbreak happens? How's your heart? Hello, God, are you there? You know, heartbreak just seems to happen so much these days. Why does God seem to take Earth's angels home to heaven so early? Well, watch the video, my friends, and I believe it will help you get some results that you might be after. If you've lost a loved one or are struggling with some of the why questions, please click on that link right here, or go down to the comment box and I'll leave a link there if you watch our videos on other social media avenues. So I wanted to review this heart attack and stroke warning signs. You need to recognize and get help quickly. Remember that I did not have any of these signs myself personally. This is just some information that I got off the American Heart Association website. And it says if you have a family history of heart troubles also, you just need to go get checked out by your doctor. Please, please, my friends. This is a game that if things go wrong, you can end up dead. Here. So here's some information that I hope you can remember. A heart attack or a stroke is a medical emergency and every second counts. The faster you or a loved one recognizes the symptoms and you get help, the better your chances are surviving with, the least amount of damage to your heart or your brain. So you got to take action fast. And once you've had an event like I did, you are even at a higher or a greater risk to have another in the future. But keep in mind that the symptoms for the second event could be different than what you experienced the first time. So heart attack warning signs, they say the main symptom of a heart attack, of course, is like chest pain or discomfort. And it could also feel like maybe a pressure or a fullness or squeezing, like something pressing on your chest. These feelings may start gradually and then get worse, and they, come and go. And the symptoms of a heart attack can be different for you ladies also. And remember, women, you could have unusual heartburn or shortness of breath. They say lightheadedness or nauseous, or you may feel even tired or anxious. And they say this could be weeks adding up to the heart attack. So for a stroke, you got to think of the acronym FAST when it comes to recognizing it. So, F stands for like a face drooping. Is your face numb? Maybe one side of your face droops when you try to smile. A stands for arm weakness. Is there like, your arm weak or numb? Raise both your hands. Does one arm sort of drift downward? S is for speech difficulty. Is your speech slurred? Are you unable to speak, or try to, maybe if you try to say a simple sentence like the sky is blue? And the T stands for the last one, time to call 911. If any of these symptoms, and even if they go away, you really should call 911 right away. Now, there's some other symptoms that could include like numbness or weakness in your leg, confusing or trouble understanding what people are saying. A third one could be trouble seeing in one or both of your eyes. And the fourth one, you just could have trouble walking or be dizzy. You could have a loss of balance, coordination. And then they say you could also have a severe headache with no known cause. So, hey guys, let me ask you this. Do you want to change your life for the positive? One of the things that I do now every day to relieve stress is go see. Go see, huh? What? Mark, go see? What does that mean? Well, go means just to take action and move. You know that. And C is an acronym for S, speak. E, encouragement. E, every day. That's it. Go see and watch positive change happen in your life, and watch your stress level come down as you bless other people. My friends, I hope that this story of how I had a heart attack that almost killed me gets your attention. I do hope and pray that you don't end up having surgery as a result of a heart attack. Please, please take care of your heart. It's so important. If you do these things, it will help you hit the mark today.